Mecha Brawl.
Oh my god,
let's
it's
go
round
ahead
3 and Jesse's
start
over
the
here
duel.
playing ninja.
It'll be nice to see a
Holy
wrap-up
fuck.
triumph in the hands of skilled
He's
duelists
playing
this weekend.
ninjas?
So here comes, he is
He's
playing a
over his
ninja. So this is a
Despia
team
branded.
of a ninja player,
What
Jesse
the
Kotton,
fuck?
and 2 Darkwood
That's
players.
hilarious.
How can we not have them jump on the feature
I was
match
playing
stage
versus
here?
that.
That's
actually,
incredible
when I was
because a lot of
testing
duelists, if you ask
and
them
making
what are
one
the
of
top
my videos, and that
decks
ninja
in
deck is no
this,
joke.
do you
Like,
expect
what
to
you
play
can do
against
is
at this
pretty
Team
nuts.
YCS, I think
well,
you're going to hear a
lured,
lot
banished, I think that's strategy or comedy. I
branded
always forget the names.
Flunderies,
And you get to
Sprite,
search as well, I
Kashtira.
believe.
Kashtira, of course, is probably the #1, but I don't think anyone's
Gates of
saying Dark
Dark World?
World, and I don't think a lot of
Could
people
be
said
wrong.
ninjas.
Yep, and now it looks like Brian is off to a good start. He is playing the Despia branded strategy, a strategy I'm a big fan of. He started off with Allure Tragedy, which is a really good start. You get to draw 2 cards, you banish the
Lair
Tragedy. When
versus
Tragedy is
Team
banished, it's going to let you
Okay.
add a Despia monster. So you guys Allure, the Jester, the Despia. Oh, and drew into Branded Regained. This is a cool one. If a lighter dark monster is banished, you can put it on the bottom of the deck of the owner who banished, the banished pile it is, and then draw a card.
Incredible
pretty
synergy
good.
with the Bystials, which I assume he has in his deck as well.
Albion is going to reveal itself in hand to send a branded spell or trap to the graveyard or Fallen Albaz. Chooses to send Branded Retribution. Now Albion is going to go to the bottom of the deck, and since he sent it from the deck,
it sends
he
him
will
an
be able to
add
draw a
back,
card.
and then he
Albion
draws a
changes
card.
its effect based upon where
That's
you
so
send the branded
nuts.
spell or trap from. So
That
if you have
card's
one in
really
your
good.
hand, you can send it from your hand and actually special summon the Albion
What's up
from
with all
your
the
hand.
branded players?
Doesn't
opening
come
that
up very
card?
often, but useful to know that you're able to do
Maining
that.
Eclipse as well.
But it looks like
What we were
he
trying
does
to
send
do
down
this,
Branded
just trying to see what
Retribution
he's
with
got.
the Albion. Branded
Is he gonna
Retribution,
normal
you can
Uber?
banish from the graveyard to add a branded spell or trap from your graveyard back to your hand.
There's the Allure he's
I'm really
searched for
excited to see
earlier in
what
the turn,
Jesse does
and
with
he
this
will
ninja
resolve
deck.
its effect. And that's going to get him the Branded Fusion.
Okay, so he gets Branded Fusion's
And
probably
we'll
going to
see if he's
activate
going
it.
to use that Branded Fusion to try and go for the new
I think
Rin
that's Dark
Brum.
Ruler in his hand as well. I could be wrong, but
Looks like
Oh,
here it
he's
goes.
got
Let's
an
see if
Ash.
Rin Brum the Striking Dragon is going to
Yep.
come down. Oh, Jesse
Ooh.
has Ash Blossom.
we all knew it was going to be
That's
Ash.
the card you want to hit when you're playing against Branded, so
Yeah.
a strong hit for Kotton there.
It's a
It is.
very
It's
strong
tough.
hit.
Yeah. Pretty much that's like the deciding factor when you're trying to. Do I want to play my Branded SP deck? Like, what am I going to do when I get Ash Blossom? How can I deal with the Ash Blossom? And
There's
if
a
you just
way,
kind
but
of
it's
end your
not
turn,
as
then maybe
good.
it's not so great. But he
It's
does have a
opening?
branded opening here.
Yeah.
It's going to be able to get him a Despia monster to his either hand or field. So he could either probably add Libitum. I'd imagine. Probably not want to summon
Ooh,
it. Probably
fuck.
just add it to the hand. He's going to discard the McCourier. So putting the McCourier in the grave now you can banish it to summon a Beastial. And when
Okay,
the
so
McCourier is
some ad
banished, you'll be able to
libitum.
add a card that mentions Fallen of Albaz. But it does look like the Branded Opium is going to
Okay, so
just
he's gonna go ahead and add it to his hand and
Libitum
not
of
special
Despia
it.
to
That's
the
fair.
hand.
He's going to Bystial.
Wow, so this is a really good hand here from Brian. He did have Branded Fusion plus a
His
Lure
hand was
plus a
crazy.
Beastial, which, I mean, is just fantastic. So he's going to banish that McCourier, summons the Soraneer.
And the McCurry is
Now,
going
if
to
he can get the Soraneer into the graveyard, he'll
Not
be
sure.
able to send down Branded and White or any other Branded Spell and Trap and add it back to his hand with that Retribution he sent down earlier in the turn with the Albion, the Shrouded Dragon.
Okay.
He's going to get Blazing Cartesia.
Blazing
Cartesia.
Cartesia is a fantastic card out of Darkwing Blast. Lets you quick effect fusion summon what's on the field. If you have a Fallen Albaz on your field or graveyard, you can special summon it from your hand.
So he has Book, so not Dark
Which we
Ruler,
know
because that's what I thought
Brian
the
does not have since that
branded opening was.
Branded Fusion didn't resolve.
Set Book.
Yep, so he's just going to have to hold it in hand. Not a good opening play here from the. Just really just showing you how devastating Ash Blossom can be if you don't have any sort of
This is a
way to
reason
get
why I was
Blazing
a little
Cartesia on
worried
the
to
field.
play
You need
the
something
deck.
like
The deck's
Fusion
still
Deployment,
really good.
Fight for
Like, I'm not
Patchwork.
gonna shit
Just
on
another
it,
way to
but
fusion
let's
summon
see
if
how
you get
ninjas
Ash
play
Blossom.
against
That's
it.
why I like playing both. I think some people like should use Fusion Deployment or Fight for Patchwork. Let's use it all. I want to make sure I'm always able
Jesse
to fusion summon
Kotton
no
is one
matter
of those
what.
players where he's really
that
good.
makes
So
sense.
even him playing ninjas, it's like, oh shit,
Now
this
let's
deck's
see if
probably
Jesse can
really good.
capitalize on the weakness that Brian showed on his first turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of cards you can have.
no,
that'd
that
be
ninja
good.
deck
Like,
is no joke. I
Iron
played against
Digger,
it, and it caught me
Hanzo
off
would be
guard
a good
because I just
one.
assumed it
Looks
was
like
bad.
he's gonna
Oh, please
start
don't tell
with
me he's just gonna.
a set monster. Now, you may think this is not normally good, but
No,
it
I
could
know
be
it
fine.
does
'cause
something in the
once there's a
ninja
set
deck.
monster on the field, this will enable other cards in his strategy.
Nope, never mind.
Potentially.
I'm over here up talking.
Set
He's about to
monster
set
doesn't
one,
mean
set
on the
one
defensive.
trap and pass.
Set soul and trap might mean that a little bit more. Yeah, once he starts setting solar traps, he might be a little more on the defensive side of things.
Although ninjas can play on the opponent's turn with those traps, so
True.
they can take a very aggressive approach by
All right,
activating
I
trap
know,
cards. on the
I
opposing
stand
team.
by what
Yeah,
I
the
said.
Ninja
The
2
ninja
Art
deck
of
is still
Dancing
good.
leaves is a big
It's not
addition
amazing,
for the
but
deck.
it's a
being able
really
to
good
tribute your
deck.
opponent's monsters. If they're you can tribute a ninja monster or a face-down monster anywhere on the field. So you can use Iron Digger to turn them into ninjas to tribute,
So
or
that's
you can
his way to
tribute just
fusion
a set
summon.
monster after you Book of Eclipse or something like that.
Yeah, so Brian commits that Blazing Cartesia to the field.
And it looks like he's going to
That's
use
going to get him to
Blazing
get a
Contagion
branded
Effect
card
Fusion
to the
Summon
grave
with
or branded
itself
spot chop.
and
So
Soren
that's
here.
really good.
Probably to make the new Gramigol and the Dusk Dragon.
It looks like he's
Ooh,
also
okay.
fusing with Ad
Oh,
Libitum.
never mind. Is he going for a Guardian Chimera with no effect? Did he make 3 materials?
He did use 3 materials.
Yeah, you cannot activate Guardian Chimera's effect here because it was summoned by a monster effect and not a spell. Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, there's no way Jesse doesn't know this. Yeah, because this goes back to the Predaplants.
I really
like, you used
hope
to try and
that-
fusion summon with the Predaplants. It has to be summoned by a spell card, so he just summons a vanilla Guardian Chimera here. Maybe not knowing
Yeah.
this interaction. It's kind
I
of
don't
new.
think
Blazing
he knew.
Cartagia. It's kind of
That's
an
really
interesting
unfortunate.
thing.
Because that
Definitely a slight misstep, but we'll see if he'll be able to recover here from here. Ad Libitum's still going to be able to special summon back the Tragedy since it was sent to the graveyard.
and then the Bystial is still going to send. I mean,
And
again,
he's
he
gonna
would
be
have
able to
he
send
would
the
have
Branded
summoned
Speller
something
Trap
else.
from his deck to the
It's
graveyard thanks
unfortunate he
to
didn't
that
know that.
Beast
I didn't even
Soren
know that,
here.
'cause I
Or you can send a
didn't,
Beastial. So even
I
with
was
Soren,
taking a
sometimes
break
you
when
just
he
send down the
was,
Beastial
playing that.
Lubellion if you have like a
Or when,
dragon you
they
want
were
to tribute
playing,
and you
you know, the
didn't draw
branded deck more.
Lubellion. Kind of cool.
I think
That's the best
small
part. I
amount
think Joe was
played,
kind
I
of
was
touching
playing
on
a
it last time. The
branded
best part of the
Eldritch
branded deck
'cause I didn't have
is
much
there's a lot
money
of
at the
flex
time.
spots. There's a lot of you can make a lot of different decisions in your deck building, and then a lot of different decisions
branded
in terms
in
of your
white?
gameplay is how you're going to progress.
He goes for branded in white to
Yeah.
the graveyard.
Yep, that's a good one. He doesn't have Fallen Albaz just yet, so unless it's in his hand, the Brandon White's not going to be too useful. But he's definitely going to want to find a way to get to Albaz.
Ninjas. He's set 2.
He
and
hasn't
set
even been able
one-
to
set
use the
monster.
effect of the regained yet. I think he just used it here, though. So he finally was able to use the effect of Brandon Regained. He's going to go
Genuinely
to battle and
depressing.
attack the face-down monster. Oh. So he's going to
He's gonna have to
use
read like
the
every
Dancing
one of
Leaves.
these
This lets
fucking
him trigger
cards.
the
No
face-down
one
monster
knows
on
what
the
these
field to
ninja
summon
cards
any
fucking
ninja.
do.
That's
You-
pretty awesome. And it's great because there have always been so many activation requirements, restrictions on what they can summon, and stipulations on all of these ninjutsu art trap cards. And
Like
this,
wing beasts, dragons.
Exactly. Insects. But this card actually just lets you get any ninja. It's beautiful
It's not bad.
simplicity.
I think that one has an effect when it's tributed or
So he's
something.
going to treat his face down Mitsu, the insect ninja, and now is going to probably summon a Jiho from his deck, if I had to guess. Oh, no, he's going for Hanzo. Okay.
Nice on the
Okay.
Hanzo, okay.
Doesn't really need Jiho, yeah. The field that Brian currently has is not very threatening.
So that one
nothing he
searches
needs
an
to put face
ninjutsu
down
spell trap, I
permanently.
believe.
But he's
So-
going to go for Hanzo, and then
Hanzo has 2 different effects depending on whether it's normal summoned or special summoned. Since it's special
okay.
summoned, he's going to be able to add a ninja monster to his
Oh,
hand.
okay.
Had it been
Yeah,
normal
when it's-
summoned, he would get the ninjutsu art card.
Yeah, there you go.
exactly.
When you normal
and now
summon, you
since
get a ninjutsu
Jesse
art, okay.
special summon a monster, it's going to trigger the second effect of Brandon Regain to allow him to special summon back a Bestial from the graveyard. So he'll be able to bring back that Soren here to the field.
When this card leaves the field, send that monster to the graveyard. You can target one ninjutsu art, continue spell trap in
So here
your
comes
spell
Soren
trap
here.
zone, return to the hand. Okay. I mean, it's not horrible. Tribute it and special summon one from your deck. Okay.
Looks like he's going to grab Baku. Baku out of Darkwing Blast. Definitely a cool one. If it's added to your hand, I believe you can special summon it.
And what does it do when it's special?
So chain link 1 after.
Yep, and here it comes.
To do it. So this card is added to your hand instead by drawing it to special summon this card. This card is special summoned or flip face up, target ninja, and it's your art card from your grave with face up back row and add it to your hand.
Yep, so it's really cool because you get to recycle the ninjas art you just used while you're getting a monster on the board. Oh, here we go. Duplication. Or multiplication. Yeah, this is amazing.
So now he can tribute his Hanzo and special summon ninjas from his deck, totaling level 4.
Yeah,
Oh
you'd think,
my
oh,
God.
maybe it's just swapping out for another level 4, but no. These new ninjas are low level.
Yeah, so you can summon 2. You can summon like
Let's see what he gets.
1, 2, or maybe even 3.
And it's
depending
nice
on
Hanzo
what
is no
levels he
longer
has.
tied to the dancing leaf, so when he returns it to his hand, it's a free card.
You see,
Yeah.
you're seeing the wheels working the
Okay,
layers.
so yeah, he
Looks
summons
like
a
that's
1.
a Tobari, which is a 1-star monster.
A 2.
Mitsu, which is a 2. Oh, no,
Oh,
doesn't
never
look like he
mind.
wants to grab Mitsu. Just 2 Tobaris.
and
But
then
one
you
that
can
face
get a
down,
2.
one face up.
Yeah, of course.
You could have just read the one.
Tabari lets you quick effect fusion summon. And then there's a brand new fusion monster out of Photon Hypernova that it gives you some disruption. It lets you to banish a card on your opponent's side of the field.
Maybe this
by just
ninja deck
banishing
might
a
not be
ninjutsu
a
art, I
joke,
believe,
like-
and a ninja, or either or from your
I
graveyard
think
to banish a card
the
on
good
the field.
part about this deck is no one the ignorance is what helps. No one was
Someone,
ready to
Green
play
Ninja?
against this because they don't know what they do.
It does look like
So
a
it's
green ninja's
hard
a brand
to,
new card
like,
out of Photon Hypernova.
Determine like
So that's going to
your
total
game
his
ones are
4
going to be really
levels.
difficult. And by game 2 or 3, he already knows what he's playing against. He knows how to deal with it properly.
And don't forget about
So
Baku,
he'll be able
who
to
still
side
needs to
properly.
hit the field.
But right now, this is the first time he's probably reading any of these fucking ninja cards.
And then
And then Baku's effect on summon gets to add. Yep.
I'm gonna target the Hanzo, I think. Yeah, target the Hanzo.
Just add back from the graveyard.
That's
Here
so
comes
dumb.
the Hanzo back to be summoned again. So
And
you
he
basically
can
search
fusion
Hanzo out of the
summon
deck,
on his
use
turn.
Hanzo's effect,
Now he
got a
can
bunch of
read
other
it.
monsters, and added the Hanzo back to his hand for follow-up. We're starting to see why these ninjas are actually a serious contender here.
Yeah, they are no threat, or not no threat. They are no joke.
So at the moment, the Dancing Leaves is just remaining on the field meaninglessly, right?
That's what it looks like.
But
Now-
it's there to be able to
Fusion
bring back
summon.
at a subsequent point in the game.
Yep.
Now the
If the
fusion's
opportunity
pretty solid,
arises.
if I remember.
So the quick effect for Tobari
And
is
if
going
they
to
don't
happen
pull
here,
it up,
and
I'll
Jesse's
put a
going to
little
either
picture
fusion
of it
one
on
from
the side
Mazen or
for you guys to
the
read.
new fusion monster,
As long as they don't read it.
Jagumaru.
It's an ultra.
Did I
It's a
say that
super.
right? Looks like Mazen though.
Summon, I'll target
So when Green Ninja is sent to the graveyard, he's able to flip a monster face down. So that's what's happening.
It's pretty good.
the pretty
Like, what the fuck does this thing do?
Mazen has. You definitely want to read that card before you activate another card or effect.
Yep.
Brian asks if it has any effects. Jesse tells him it has 3.
Yeah, when your opponent activates
Have
a
an
card
effect,
or
it has
effect, you
three.
can
Okay,
special summon a
buddy,
ninja
listen.
from your deck face up or face down. So pretty much anything you try and do while Mazen's on the field, he's going to run back into the deck and grab someone to help you. You know, he's a little sneaky ninja. The shinobi kind of all join in together, and all of a sudden you're fighting a swarm of them.
Yeah, I love the play style of the ninja deck to imitate the stealth of the ninjas.
It's awesome. Guardian Chimera is going to
Okay.
take down Baku by battle.
Not bad for a monster with no effects.
You know, I'm seeing some similarities. I think Jesse, maybe it wasn't the tier limit strategy he liked. He just liked playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On his opponent's turn. So he's like, oh,
Yeah.
now that my tier limit deck, got limited in the last Forbidden Limitless, I'm going to find the next best deck to be able to play during your turn. But it looks like Brian is going to main phase 2, use Retribution to add back.
Now we run
Grab
away
Right.
and grab more cards.
card effect, yeah. Push someone ninja from your deck and face up or face down defensive position.
And so since he activated the effect, he gets to summon a ninja.
God, don't make me build this deck. I gotta build this deck. This deck's. I like
This
the
will be
art,
the
and I
only one
think
he gets
that's
to do
what
this turn,
makes
but-
me want to play it.
Are we going to see Hanzo again?
I imagine so.
If memory serves, Hanzo's not restricted to once per turn, but no.
Kagero's good too.
He's getting Kagero, the cannon ninja.
Yeah, Kagero lets you summon a ninja from your hand
Oh,
or
there he
graveyard, I
is.
believe.
Okay, so
definitely a
you
good
can
one to
pause
have as
read
well.
that if you'd like. He looks cool. Like, you see that guy? He looks so fucking cool. All these ninja cards, all the cards look really nice.
Mazen also has the cool effect where it's not just him, all your ninjas can attack directly. So it really can make it easy to just ignore whatever board your opponent has and just swing for game through it with something like Blade Armor Ninja equipped with the Iron Digger. Like, that's 8,000 with Mazen.
Wow.
Or you equip the Iron Digger to Mazen, so it's 3,000, 3,000.
Another
and then,
one!
The Blade
What?
Armor Ninja is 22.
Another Ash! What a mad lad.
I've never actually seen Blade Armor Ninja played
What?
in a ninja deck.
Yeah, it's always been in like the Elemental
He
Hero
ashed him
Warrior
twice.
strategy.
You know he's throwing fists at the air.
All right, finally
He's like,
it's
"God
Jesse's turn.
damn
Let's
it.
see how he
Why did
navigates
this happen to me?
Another Ash Blossom did stop that brand of fusion, it looks like.
Are you saying that wasn't Jesse's turn?
He loves playing on his opponent's turn.
Yeah, that
certainly
was
felt
all in
like
his turn.
Jesse's
He's
turn.
fusion summoned and summoned 3 more monsters. He could have got nibbed on his turn. That's
summons
the wild
Baku.
part. He summoned, God, like 6 or 7 monsters,
Non-flip.
maybe
Yeah,
more.
Baku is, I think it triggers if it's normal summon, flip summon, special summon, just if it's summoned anyway. That's the cool part about ninjas.
That's awesome. So when it flips down and flips back up, you get to use it again.
Huh?
If it works on the flip summon as well.
So he has Hanzo in hand. I don't know. Maybe I have to give this ninja deck a try. They look cool at the least, and I think that's going to be a really fun thing to go ahead and give a try. And I want to see Jesse's list after, just
Now it looks
to
like
give it a
he's going to
gander.
fusion summon.
Baku the Beast Ninja.
Oh, Link summon. You never really know, but it's a Link summon for Saizo. Saizo, incredible. He's going to be able to get a ninjutsu art from the deck to the field.
He didn't declare the effect of Tabari, so that makes sense. That's a link summon.
But you can make them both by just sending the
Oh,
monsters.
you're right.
Yeah.
They're also just contact fusions.
Oh,
You know all
yeah,
about
it's all
Gladiator
contact
Beasts.
Gladiators go to the deck.
Yeah, it's a little
they're
different.
A little different.
Little
Bro,
different.
he had the little
So it
sorry
looks
to
like he
do
did
to you,
grab the
kiddo.
Iron
He
Digger
had the-
here,
oh
so
my
he's going to
gosh.
set that. And even though, so normally when you set a ninjutsu art, it's a trap, so you can't activate it right away. But Iron Digger, equip spell,
The Iron Digger to Maizen.
so now Maizen has 3,000 attack.
Uh-oh. Are we going to see exactly what you predicted?
To be fair, I got this combo from him. This is not something I came up on my own. He talked to me about it, so I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, this Blade Armor Ninja coming. Let's see. Jesse obviously knows this deck extremely well. I heard him talking about it, and he is exceptionally proficient with it.
Yep, certainly. Book of Eclipse.
I mean, you can flip the fusion.
But not too bad.
right back
So
up.
the thing about Iron Digger is when it's into the graveyard, you can add back a banished ninja or special summon it face down. So definitely we'll still get some value out of it. It's also going to trigger the Mason
Yes. So Jesse will special summon a monster from his deck that all of Jesse's monsters, other than obviously the Link monster, which can't
What's
go
wild
face
about
down.
it is he's going to be
The rest
drawing
of
on
them will
his
go
opponent's
face
turn,
down.
because of
But
this.
as
Well,
you
drawing
had
at the end
mentioned
phase.
before, that
This
actually
is-
won't
this is
stop him
wild.
from continuing to fusion
Oh
summon
my god.
because you just have to send those monsters
He
upfield
doesn't.
to the graveyard. to
He
do
shouldn't
so.
have lethal now, but he is
It
definitely.
looks like he's going to use the Iron Digger's effect to special
Yeah.
summon the green ninja face down.
What's wild is I'm gonna waste the money on this
And
deck.
if you take a look on the right,
And
we can
then
see
it's
the
gonna
table
be-
scores.
I'm
It
gonna,
does
like,
look
get
like
demolished.
Asala took game
But
one
this
with
is what I was
his Dark
going. This is
World
what I was talking about
strategy.
before. It's a player deck.
Probably
where,
won the die roll there,
you
and
know,
maybe Grappa
Jesse
just
Cotton's gonna
went to
play. And it's gonna be
town.
really solid, and then I'm gonna play it, and then it's not gonna be solid.
I still remember when Grappa took over YCS Columbus so many years ago.
Who could forget?
Fantastic time. So he gets a special Mitsu since he controls a face down defense position monster.
He can flip the fusion. Yeah. I was
So
gonna
summons
say
the
that.
Mason since it was summoned during the opponent's turn. He still gets to be able to change that battle position. And as you said, you're still able to
Contact
fusion
fuse,
summon
yep.
by sending them to the graveyard since they're ninja monsters to summon another
one.
Mason. So this is a lot of damage already. It's 5,000. I believe Saizo's 18.
It's
Kagero's at least
68.
1,200 or 4. I think it might be 14.
And they can all attack directly, correct?
He should
Kagero's
be able to contact
1,600,
fuse
excuse
again.
me.
If you can get one more out. Yeah. So he might be able to fusion summon one more time.
That's
Let's go.
gonna be it.
It's time to sneak past your opponent's defenses, and the ninjas are going in. Jesse Kotton, 4-time YCS champion, 1-time UDS champion, one of the most decorated players in the game right now, piloting ninjas. I hope all the way to the top.
It's starting to
Mason
look like it
might
will
get
be.
Mason is such a good
It looks
card.
like
Like
that
attacking
Asala
directly is
person near the
really
end
fantastic. Like
got
he didn't
game
have to
one
put
as
his
well.
opponent's monsters face down. Brian put his own monsters face down with his own Book of Eclipse. Like this is capitalizing on a format. This is with everyone coming in this weekend is like, oh, Book of Eclipse, that's a guarantee include in my deck. I'm going to be able to use it against other strategies. It's still a solid card, but now you're seeing the benefits of playing against that. Like being able to, that's so incredible.
At his disposal if he chooses to put it in.
So we're
But
going
part
into
of the
game
challenge is he's
2.
playing against ninjas, which he may have never played against
he-
before,
yeah,
as
this
he is
is-
reading the cards.
that's what I was talking about
Does he
before.
even know what to
He-
put in? And that's the thing. And it
It's
does,
really
and it-
hard
you
to
know that
pilot
interaction's
against
good,
that deck.
yeah.
And it does play differently than so many decks that it's not like, okay, this deck has a bunch of dark and light monsters, I'll put Bystials in. It's not so straightforward. And it looks like so far there's a clean sweep on one side of the table.
Ooh, it looks like Aaron
Jesse,
did,
Aaron, and Asala all took
Yeah,
game one, and they're all
the
in
whole
game
team
two.
got game one.
yep,
Oh
all
my
playing
gosh.
innovative strategies. Brian going to start
They're
game 2
really
just like he
gonna
started
have
game
like
1.
a
With
rough
the
time
Luber
if this
going
is
to
how
grab
it's gonna
Brandon
be,
Fusion.
man.
Now Jesse had 2 Ash Blossoms last time. We'll have to see if he has it yet again.
I don't like where it's going.
No Ash Blossom. All right, now we're going to get
Okay,
to
so,
see
I mean,
the
that's
power
good at
of Brandon
least.
Fusion. This deck is night and day different when Brandon Fusion resolves versus when it doesn't. So we'll be able to see. I'm assuming he's going to go for Renbrum the Striking Dragon here. That's my new favorite Brandon Fusion target ever since the release of, well, Renbrum the Striking Dragon in Photon Hypernova. Because it lets you send down Fallen
He doesn't have
Allbaz
Ash
and
this
Courier.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you
Where's
got to
your
send
Ash,
one other
buddy?
monster. Fallen Allbaz is guarantee you have to send Allbaz, so it's going to take a minute to think. So your options are a dark monster, a light monster,
Yeah.
or a courier, pretty much, for most strategies, because you can go into Lubellion, or you can go into send down Tragedy when you go into Lubellion, or you summon Albion, and then
I mean,
you can
yeah,
banish.
I guess you could technically
You can
do
send
all
down
that,
the
too.
Bystial Lubellion, and that's the way you can get access to that. But yeah, it looks like he's going for the old school. This is the old traditional Branded Fusion, send down Tragedy, make Lubellion. If you play
Yeah.
Master Duel, you're probably familiar with this
If you
play.
play Master Duel,
Discarding
you're
ad libitum.
familiar.
This is very Master Duel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it's
feels
pretty
bad.
standard.
Yep. Yeah, this is sometimes you kind of fall back on the standard stuff if
I
you don't have
mean, yeah.
Bestials in your hand, or you don't have like any way to banish the Mercurier from your graveyard that you would send for making Renbrum. So he's going to grab follow-up. Yeah, it's unfortunate he had the ad libitum and still chose to send down the tragedy because, yeah, you're just adding another copy of a Luber, which isn't going to get you very far this turn.
Yeah.
But now the
It honestly
Lubellion
won't,
is
like,
going
get
to
him
shuffle
that
itself.
far.
Well, Lubellion returns the extra deck. Fallen Alabaster shuffles back in the deck to summon Mirror Jade.
Wow. Well, yeah, it looks like his hand isn't exactly the best. So, I mean...
Now, is he going to do the classic Mirror Jade, send Albion to banish a Luber? Yep, this is the classic.
He is.
Sorry.
So this will let him have access to either branded in red or branded banishment.
Thanks to Albion's effect in the end phase.
Yep, and so branded red will let him have disruption with Guardian Chimera since it lets you fuse from your hand as well. While branded
That's pretty
banishment
good.
lets you fuse with your opponent's monsters, but you can't fuse with cards in your hand, so you won't be able to make Guardian Chimera. So those are kind of your two decision trees on which one you're wanting to set.
Doesn't look like he opened it the best,
So
unfortunately.
yeah, this is just old school classic branded combo.
I mean, that's not... It's not horrible, but we'll have to see how it pans out versus Mr. Kotton.
As you predicted, he is going for branded in red.
Yeah, he did go for Guardian Chimera with,
I mean,
in that
yeah.
last game, so I imagine that is one of his favorite, like his go-to cards. And when you have the situation where you've already burned the Mirror Jade effect, but you have that ad libitum, you're really going to need it to be able to recycle the Mirror Jade and special summon it back, so you'll be able to use his effect again. So he has like 2 points of disruption plus whatever he has face down.
Not a bad first turn.
Not terrible. Nothing too fancy, but you know, sometimes you don't need to be fancy.
And his one.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes
yeah,
you just want to be
sometimes
consistent.
you don't even need to be
And
fancy.
you know, he did what his deck consistently does and has a decent amount of disruption for Jesse.
And there we see a Starlight, Pot of Prosperity coming down for Jesse.
God, that guy's rich.
See if he goes
How's
for
it
3
feel?
or 6.
I'd like him to tell me. Tell me how it feels to be rich, because I wouldn't fucking know.
Looks like 6.
I'm looking forward to the new foiling on Prosperity in the pot collection.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to check that out. Make sure you go pre-order your pot collection. You get all the figures and cards. Definitely want to check out the pot collection.
You know, I just want
For
you to
more
know,
information,
as
just go to
I'm...
Yu-Gi-Oh-card.com.
There's no...
Go over to the product
There
page.
are
and it'll tell you
no
all
Blade
about our
Armor
cool
Ninjas
upcoming
left. They got
products,
bought out
like the pot
completely.
collection.
That's actually
Now we
wild.
see the Notebook of Mystery, which is
Just,
a really good
like,
one.
it's
If
not
your opponent controls a
needed,
monster, you can
but
set a ninjutsu,
that's not the
art,
point.
and ninja monster from your deck and graveyard. One from each, but you could just do one from your deck if you
I mean,
choose.
there's not much you
There's
can
a
do about
decent
that.
chance he'll take that, right? It's basically a wild card in these
I'm thinking.
for the ninjas in his deck.
Yeah, it's either between that or the Ash Blossom, because he could get the if he has already like some good ninja cards in hand, he can grab the Ash Blossom to ensure he won't be met with branded fusion on the following turn. But
Okay,
if he doesn't have a good hand, oh, he's
Ready?
going for Grave. Okay, I didn't even notice that was
Okay.
Grave as a
Oh,
super organism.
that's
So
not
that
bad.
card is insane against branded. It says level 6 or higher monsters can't attack or activate their effects. I'm pretty sure. So
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
with Brandon's strategy, completely reliant on those giant fusion monsters, no really ways to link summon. It's a pretty good one.
I thought that was a ninjutsu art.
It kind of looked like one covered
I thought
up.
it was a ninja
Yeah, no,
sword over here.
Grave of the Super Ancient Organism is,
It's a good one.
Okay.
yeah, really good for this matchup.
There's always like formats where that comes in and out, or like there's a deck that it lines up really well with, and it's just so good.
Yeah, cards that have the ability to shut down specific types of cards tend to kind of flow in and out of the tournament scene.
That's true.
All right, it looks like Jesse's gonna set 4 cards to his
we can
spell and trap card zone.
Thinking of that.
So once he flips the Grave of the Super Ancient Organism, that'll effectively shut down the Mirror Jade.
Yeah, he can. He's gonna be able
Okay,
to go for
Branded
Guardian
in red.
Chimera
That's
right
pretty
here,
good.
and maybe try and get rid of one of the back rows while he draws 2 cards. So maybe he can hit the Grave. Now, I don't think Jesse would put the Grave by itself by the deck, but maybe that's what he wants Brian to think, that he would never put it on his own, so he would never target the one
He
that's
would
by
never.
itself. The mind games.
You would
Yeah,
never.
don't fall for the mind games. Just pick 3 random cards,
Roll a die,
Or-
make a decision.
or however many random cards he's allowed to destroy as opposed to draw.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So here comes the Guardian Chimera. Now this time it will be able to activate this effect since it was fusion summoned via a spell card. And then ad libitum, since it was banished for a fusion summon, will special summon back that Mirror Jade to the field.
The Guardian Chimera can be targeted though because polymerization is not in the graveyard.
Very true, very true. That's
mean,
a good one. I would
okay,
pick that one
fair.
too. It is the Grave.
Oh,
It's the Grave. That's rough.
So he only gets to destroy one card because only one fusion material was from the field.
Yep. Draws 2.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
That was certainly a good hit because it's the card that Jesse wanted when he banished 6 cards with Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah, I mean, now
Oh,
Brian has these 2
prosperity.
giant monsters on the field. Mirror Jade's effects back online. I would have maybe thought for a second and considered using Mirror Jade's effect to banish my own Guardian Chimera right here just to set Branded Retribution. Maybe, I don't know. I'd at least maybe taken a second to think, but maybe not. But it looks like Albion is going to be activated in the hand. Probably going to send down Branded Retribution if it's still in his deck.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Yep, there it is. Branded Retribution lets him banish itself to add back one of those branded spell or traps like Branded Fusion or Branded in red. So he's got a couple options. And then that Albion's going to go to the bottom of the deck as he draws a new card.
Okay, fair.
Next up is, well, we knew he had that Aluber that he added off the Tragedy last turn.
Jesse needs some really good face down cards
he
if he wants
does.
to survive this turn.
Yeah, imagine if he has like Book of Eclipse and then like Dancing Leaves. He doesn't have to have Book. He could have like Book of Moon and Dancing Leaves and just go
Yeah.
into Jiho and then book the other 2 face
God,
down.
that
So
prosperity
he just
is
needs some
super
sort of
nice.
2.
Good.
Yeah, some sort of 2 card. Oh, it's another Grave.
Oh, I
So-
was just thinking. I wonder if he took Grave thinking
I just want
that
you to
Brian
know,
would destroy one.
and
So
I've
he
been
actually
a
took a
little
second copy
disconnected, but
of Grave,
Yeah.
which does nothing in
I've been
duplicates
trying to
in
make a
anticipation
card.
of
So I made
Ryan's
a card
play.
of all
That's
like the ninja
incredible.
stuff, right?
Yeah, it kind of
But
also shows like
as
one of
I'm making the
downsides to
fucking
branded
card,
strategy.
they're
While
just
you're able
getting
to
bought.
do so much,
And
your
so I
opponent
don't
knows
have the
exactly what
chance
you're doing.
to
He knows that
actually
you're gonna
buy
have
it,
Guardian
because every
Chimera.
single
He
time I
knows you're
try
gonna
to
go
check
for
out,
it, at the end phase, so he's able to read into that play and
every time I'm trying to check out,
play around it. I mean, maybe
someone
also
else
knowing
bought
that
it
Grave
already.
is just
And so I'm just here
shut
like,
down
oh my
against the
God.
branded deck, just having multiple
and
definitely
that's
will
TCG
ensure
players on
victory.
me.
Yeah, Len, that looks like that was exactly Jesse's thought process when he took that card. And it looked like he genuinely did put a lot of consideration into what to take with Pot of Prosperity, but he certainly must feel vindicated right now,
Yeah, no,
having
these
seen his
cards
first
are going
Grave
up.
go to the graveyard.
Yeah, and when
trying to make sure I got
when you do
everything
something
so I
like
don't
that,
get
it's a
cucked
good
in the
play,
long
but
run.
you have to make sure you're like in the position you're in, you're capable
$15
of making that
for
decision.
Mitsu,
Like
by
you're
the
not
way.
in need of something
This is just
desperately.
hype,
Like
and I'm
you're able
upset,
to,
but I'm
to have that
I'm doing
leisure
it.
to have.
Oh, is that the feel of the card?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. So it looks like he's going to tribute the Albion to summon Lubellion.
Can't activate it.
Yeah.
Can't use its effect, though.
He's able to summon it
Let's
since
try
it's
to
not an
submit
effect.
the
It just
order.
isn't summon, but
You can attack
Before
with a
someone
Looper.
else buys it, apparently.
I don't know if there's anything in your graveyard that's going to help you with that grave.
Yeah, no, this is
Takes
And
it to the liver.
he will attack with a Luber. And that's it, because level 6 and higher monsters can't attack.
wow. That's a little wild.
Yeah, take notes. If you're having trouble your local OTS with Brandon, maybe you should consider picking up some grave with a super ancient organism, throw it into your side deck. Definitely a strong one.
Works for Jesse Kotton.
How does he like out that?
Brian will use his
Thinking
Albion's
about it,
effect in the end
it's got to
phase.
be like a little rough to out that. There's no way there's like an easy
Is
answer.
that
to
branded
that.
fusion? It's a little off screen.
Like there's no way.
Couldn't tell, but I would imagine it's something like that. Doesn't decide to set it, so.
I think it was a branded fusion, but I don't think there's anything he can fusion summon that
So
will
as
be relevant
I'm-
with the grave on the field.
I bought this just in case if it ends up being
Here comes
good.
Tabari. That one lets you quick
Um,
effect fusion summon.
Yeah, I imagine like
Since he controls a ninja, he's
a
supposed to
bunch
summon
of
Mitsu.
my like orders are just gonna cancel.
Oh, I get why Grave is so. Oh no, because Mason's level 6 or higher. Is Mason
I'm
level
over
6
here.
or level
I'm
5?
about to tell my friend, bro, I
I'm
just
not
bought
sure. I have to
ninja.
look that up. No, he's level 6. Okay.
Like,
So definitely Grave not great with Mason, but
But his effect is a continuous effect that allows the other ninjas to attack.
so
Yeah,
he
he
can,
told
he
me
can
to
stand
keep
back
him-
and watch all the other ninjas
Exactly.
attack while he's just
my friend told
observing
me
from
to
the
keep him
sidelines. I
updated
like
on the
that.
He's the
YCS, so
commander.
I'm telling him how
And it looks
Jesse
like
Cotton's playing
Saizo's coming
ninjas.
down here for a link summon for Jesse. Saizo doesn't have a level. That's a link rating, so he's going to be able to use
That's
the
right.
effect.
And as we saw, or as we speculate, Jesse also uses Ixies monsters that don't have levels, like Blade Armor Ninja.
Yep.
So he can play around it fairly well.
Blade
All right, Infinite
armor.
Permanence here
What's
coming
wild
down
about
for
it
Brian
is
trying to cut off Saizo from grabbing
I
a
have
Ninjutsu
never
art.
seen,
He
because
knows he's
that
gonna
card
go
was
for that
probably
Iron
like,
Digger
like
again,
less
probably.
than $2 or $3. So, yeah, like according to TCG Marketplace, like, no, actually, there just wasn't a lot on the market. Everyone
Brian's
probably
field
pulled theirs.
appears to be impressive, but
That's probably what
far
happened.
behind if you can't get rid of that grave.
And here
Like
comes
looking
the
at,
Notebook of
there's
Mystery.
2 different ones.
So he's going to be able to
yeah, no, there was just
set
a bunch
ninja or
bought
ninjutsu from
like
his grave
for like
and
$3,
one
$2,
from his
but
deck.
it looks like that they were just pulled off.
Let's see
of
what
it.
he decides to grab.
That's so wild. Like,
Incredible card.
I mean, there's nothing you could really do about it.
Yeah, I mean, anytime the card says you can special summon something from the deck, it's like insane. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna at least get
I
a
gotta
second
get
chance.
that.
Like,
Any
okay,
card
wait,
that says
how
summon
good
from the
is this
deck
card? Because
is
like
usually
you're summoning
pretty
something from the
good.
deck, it's like emergency teleport
You know?
vibes. Like,
It's quick play,
That
like
E-Tele's
emergency teleport
crazy.
too.
and it gets you another card from your graveyard too. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
It's an ultra
it's
out
a
of Darkwing
lot.
Blast.
It says a lot about the deck if it has that. It's really good usually. But
Oh, he's gonna get Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. Okay, that's a cool one. That's the original one you used to do to summon Mist Valley Apex Avian was a good one you summoned with it. White Dragon Ninja.
transformation.
I believe it lets you summon winged beasts, dragons, and insects, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Enemies,
heard Jesse
dragon,
actually
and
talking about
insects?
this combo, where he uses to summon Kwakimeru Drago.
Oh, that's cool.
So the opponent can't special summon dark and light monsters.
There's so many cool things you can do with the Ninja deck. I really like it. And it's awesome to see a player of Jesse's caliber piloting it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. Like watching him play this.
So he
and
will
stuff,
flip his Ninjutsu
what's he
Art of
gonna
Dancing
summon?
Leaves to get rid of his face down monster and trade it in for any ninja he wants.
Oh,
Any
I did
ninja.
just notice on the table scores, this probably happened a little while ago, but Everardo evened things up against the Solid, taking game number 2. Does look like Hanzo is getting special summoned from the Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves.
That'll give him a ninja monster.
Gets Kagero. Hanzo grabbing Kagero is a pretty good duo.
Battleface.
Mm.
That was fine. Back to 200.
No, it's just-
It's a wild thing because there's nothing that it's so you
he's
can't
going
really
to go
do
to
much
Battleface.
about it.
Saizo's trying to attack over Luber. Brian's
Yeah.
going to activate Branded Banishment. So that lets him special summon a Despia or a level 8 or higher fusion monster from his graveyard to the field. And then you can fuse with any monsters on the field. You can
Oh,
use
that's
2 of the
really
opponent's
good.
monsters if
That's
you so
super.
chooses.
It's literally
but decides
super
to
power.
fuse with his Tragedy and Jesse's Saizo to summon Masquerade the Blazing Dragon.
Okay.
Okay, so Masquerade's effect is a
It
continuous
looks like at
effect
table
that,
C, by the way,
it's like
that
600 points
Everardo
of
got a game. So they're
damage
moving
or
into game 3 with
requires
about
him to pay 600 life
probably
points
10 to
use any
15 minutes left. I
cards.
didn't
Gotta
see
pay
when
the
I
toll.
went there.
Yeah, so I think so that should
But
get around the
minimum
grave,
8.
right?
So
Yep.
At least that
you know,
effect.
That's
Yeah,
good.
at least makes
Yeah.
Jesse think about his plays. he only has so many he can activate, and as time is winding down, each one gets him closer to being lower in life.
That's true. I think the Jesse is still favored here because at some point he will summon the fusion monster that lets his
Yeah.
monsters attack directly.
He starts punching him.
And once that happens, I think his victory will become inevitable.
It's like ancient organism. And I'm
So
gonna.
you're saying Jesse is inevitable.
Jesse is inevitable.
There we go.
Oh.
It looks like he's passing back. Let's see
Yeah,
if Brian has
commons and
anything
OTS. That's
to
a card
deal
to
with it.
get.
I can see a cross-out Desert in his
this
hand.
is
That's
gonna
not going
be-
to come in handy here unless he's
this is
packing
a card
copies
to
of
get.
Brave, the Super Ancient Organism himself.
Check
which
it out, man.
I
That's
can't
pretty
imagine
good.
he is.
I was playing. I remember playing against this.
I do
Jesse's
like the
piling it
inclusion
way
of
better than
cross-out
the other
Desert.
guy.
I do think
But
Ash
the
Blossom
deck
Joy
doesn't
String is
seem
a
bad.
very highly
It seems
impactful
like
card
it's a
and
solid
can be a huge
like
detriment to your
deck to
turn unless
play.
you design
But
your
I
deck
think
to kind
as
of
the
play around it
format
with
kind
the
of grows with it,
deployments and patchworks
you're
and all.
gonna
But it's definitely a
see
good card to have because there's
that,
also
you know, it's
you're
a
expecting
little
lot
more
of mirror
manageable
match.
than
So you
people
can do
are
your whole
probably
combo
thinking.
turn 1, then your opponent summons Luber and you cross out a Luber, and or even better like Branded Fusion or something like that. It's
He's
definitely
looking
an
at his
insane
fucking
card
extra
in
deck.
the
How
mirror
the
match.
fuck do I get rid of that trap? Jesse's down though, which is
It's
a
interesting that's
very
still in
bad
his deck in
thing.
game 2, though.
It's
I mean,
it's
he
a long
got
game,
burned
too,
on the
but-
Ash Blossoms
and
pretty
there's-
bad in game 1, so it's rough.
That's true.
There's no, but there
There's
is
not- I
no.
don't imagine
like,
there's that much more overlap, though, than
I
Ash
think-
Blossom.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's that bad. Yeah,
There's no
it's
draw
that
with this.
bad. So he's going to use Brandon and White.
so
That
I
lets
don't
him
know
fusion
how this
summon,
would
and
go.
if he uses Fallen for a Dragon Fusion,
think they would
fusion
just
summon for a
draw.
Dragon Fusion, and if
Which
you can use
I don't know
Fallen
how that
Albaz
would
and
work
Albaz
with
from his
table
graveyard
B and
by
C.
banishing it. So he's going to summon Mud Dragon.
Okay, a
But
level 4
apparently
monster,
Aaron,
so he can use its
my name's
effect
Aaron
and
also,
attack.
but
All right, Brian's
apparently
cooking.
Aaron
He's
over
trying to
there,
find his way
he's
around his
playing
grave.
Dark Worlds. One of them's playing Dark Worlds. I'm pretty sure it's Aaron, which is another same shit. No one's
Maybe
expecting
Brian
it.
I don't know. He is targeting perfection now. This is not too bad. I like the way he's doing this. This is really smart here from Brian. Oh, and he has the regain that he got. I guess I missed that when he activated it, and now he's going to be able to put back that Albaz since it was banished and draw a card.
But we gotta see like
Yeah, Brandon White didn't see play for a long time.
once
now
he
it's
gets
started
the
to pick up
fusion.
and play
So
because
what
just
this
doing your
ninja
normal
deck is
branded
looking like,
combo,
it's looking
you
like
get
you're
to use
stalling
the
for
Bystial
the most
Sorinir
part.
and Albion to send 2 branded
versus
spell and
these
trap,
like big
branded
decks.
spell traps for
Like
your
it's
deck to
like that
graveyard.
card's pretty
so
good.
in combination, you can
Super
send
Ancient
Brandon
Organism,
White and
whatever.
Branded Retribution,
It's really
banish the
good
Branded
versus
Retribution, add that Brandon White
this
back, and then
branded deck.
activate it on the turn. So essentially,
seems
throughout your
like
combo,
it's
you're just also
difficult
adding
for
Brandon
the
White
deck
from your
to
deck to your
really
hand
deal with it.
to progress your plays, and it's really fantastic.
Yeah, we're seeing a much larger variety of branded cards being used in the branded strategy, mostly thanks
But
to
those Alibers are going to probably be a
Bystial,
problem.
Lubellion, and Saronir.
But I think this is just game
Yeah,
on
the
Jesse.
Bystial Rebellion was huge for the branded strategy.
Not directly, but I think it's going to be game
And
for
Sorinir
Jesse
as
in
well.
the-
They're both
just
amazing.
in the long run.
I haven't
for
seen
this.
Magnumit so much, but I definitely still use Magnumit in my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magnum? I don't know
I'm
why
playing
you
a
wouldn't play
Sprite deck
Magnum.
with
Let's
Magnum
you
Hut,
search.
so-
Yeah.
Saronir is not nearly as... I actually cut Saronir for the new Bystial in...
Baldrake, yeah, Bystial Baldrake, yeah.
But-
I actually just cut all my Druid Worms out of my deck, so I'm just playing the Magnumits and Sorinirs and Nubellions, but 3 of all. But now it looks like Mud Dragon is going to try and attack Hanzo. So he's going to use the Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. Pay 6 to activate it, thanks to Masquerade.
600. Oh, but I taken, yeah.
Yeah.
So send this and that.
There goes the grip.
Yeah,
Oh boy, goodbye Masquerade.
Does it target? No.
it does.
It does? Okay. Forgot to change it.
It wouldn't have mattered if you changed it.
No? I mean, prior. I mean, you would have
I would have changed it there.
just. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he might have messed up, but Jesse let him know. No, it didn't matter when you did it. I'm still going to be able to do this Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, or Super Transformation. And you were right. There it is, the Drago. You're exactly right. That is what he's going for.
Yeah. So it seems like you really only need like one copy of the transformation. You can side it because it's searchable by like a million cards.
While space on the field, now that dark
Um,
monsters during each Mayan phase reveal a dragon or Kakimiru Iron Core, or it dies.
So I didn't hear the first part. What did you say?
While space on the field, neither of us can summon Light of Darks.
Oh, that's concerned. Okay.
All right, Brian with a lot of cards, but not a lot to do. So Drago's going to go to the graveyard. And now Brian's going to attack for 18 with the Luber.
Yep.
All right, Jesse definitely only has 2 cards pretty much to his name on the back foot here this game. Brian activating Brandon lost. It's not going to really do too much, but if he finds a way to fusion summon during the opponent's turn, he'll be able to add with Brandon lost.
Effect, turn a hand.
Yep, it has its own effect to return itself to the hand to be reused later on.
That's your draw for turn?
That's incredible.
And phase 1.
Jesse's down to just a few cards, but Brian basically just has a bunch of 1800 attack monsters on the field, as far as relevant monsters go.
I don't think Kagero
So-
targets, because Kagero can summon from your hand or graveyard, so it doesn't target.
So it seems like this ninja deck has a
And now it's going to summon Tabari. Tabari the Sky Ninja, face down.
But it seems
But
like
he does
just
have 2 ninjas.
just
so maybe
based
we're
off
going to see a
watching
fusion
like
summon
Jesse
here.
play it. Well, for one, he's at 2 fucking
Indeed
K.
we do.
Mason, I'm
but
assuming.
based off what I'm seeing, it's a stall deck more than anything.
All right, so now I think this is Jesse slowly setting up for what you're talking about, where he gets the Mason on the field, so he won't be able to keep getting these direct attacks since he only has 2,000 life points left, but he will be able to eventually get more ninjas on the field and attack directly. But it looks like Brian is tributing off his monsters. And he's tributing 2 for Lava Golem, maybe? Oh, Saronir. It's one. Yeah, it's 1 tribute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was confused. I was like, what is he tributing 2 for?
Saronir is level 6.
Yeah.
He already sent that one to grave, so I mean,
I don't know what
guess
that
he doesn't get to choose.
accomplishes,
It
though.
puts the
because-
Lubellion back in the graveyard. You can summon it again and send Soren near. I don't know. He was about to lift the Branded Regained up. I feel like underneath it.
Have to go to battle?
So
He's gonna
Brian's
fuse
going
with
through
his
the battle
guy during
phase,
battle?
but Jesse still has
Attack?
a monster stronger than all of Brian's
no-
level 5 and lowers.
Can attack, right? Oh, is Graves 7? Oh, can you not attack with Soaring? Oh, is it? I gotta
Pretty
reread
sure it's a
Grave.
level.
I guess he's just.
Oh,
skipping.
it's special summon level 6 or higher monsters.
Oh, okay. There
I
you go.
think that's what I'm thinking now. Because that sounds kind of familiar. I haven't seen that
Looking back
card
at it,
in
let me just
so
double
long.
check.
But that's now my that's
yeah,
my
special
recollection.
summoned. Yeah. Okay, so he beat the card.
So he must have summoned
So
it so that
this
would
is
still
just
be
a
able
draw
to
for them
attack.
now. Yeah, they can't do anything. Because unless if they have the like not shit time rules.
Pull it up real fast.
But
sure.
you know, I could be like 100% wrong.
Gotta
but
open my
I'm
Yu-Gi-Oh!
pretty sure
Neuron
they
app.
probably
Anytime
don't.
you want to look at the exact card text of thing, make sure you download Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron. It has the whole thing. You can build your deck on there.
Me
you can
just
test
looking at
hands.
TCG
You
player
can
to
see
double
all sorts of
check.
stuff on Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron. So make sure you